It's already pickup lines part 1. Hey, do you like the draw?
Yes.
Good, because I put the D in raw. Do you have a mirror in your pocket? Because I can see myself in your pants. Dirty Jokes My Mom part 62. The mailman Joe was doing his final route, and the whole neighborhood knew that he was retiring. So they, got him some thank you cards. He was going house to house. He was getting little knickknacks and gifts. Well, he got to his very last house on his route, and he was greeted by a beautiful housewife who invited him in for lunch. So he happily agreed. Well, after lunch, she invited him upstairs for dessert, and he happily agreed again. And afterwards, she handed him $1. He's like, what's up with the $1? She's like, oh, it was my husband's idea. When I asked him what we should get you, he said, fuck him, give him $1. The lunch was my idea.
Yeah, I don't think.
Hey, what's the plural of hydro flask?
Hydro flasks.
Dirty Jokes My Mom part 64. One night, an alien spaceship landed in a farmer's field. A Martian couple got out and greeted the farmer and his wife. The farmer wanted to invite them in for dinner as a token of friendship. Well, they agreed. When they got in there, they finished dinner, and the Martian man explained that on their planet, it's customary to swap partners as a sign of their friendship. The farmer didn't want to offend the Martian, so he agreed. The Martian is with the farmer's wife, and he says, how does it feel? She says, I think it needs to be a little wider around. So he twists his right ear, and presto, boom, good to go. A little bit later, she says, oh, I think it needs to be a little longer too. He twists his left ear, boom, so already longer. Well, the next morning, the farmer and his wife are having some coffee, and he's like, so, how was the Martian man? He said, oh, it was fine. She was like, how was the Martian woman? Oh, that bitch was twisting my ears all goddamn night.
Oh my god!
Dirty Jokes My Mom part 66. Thank you, Kim, for the joke. A man walks into a bar, and he pulls out of his pocket a tiny little piano, and then a tiny little bench, and a tiny little man. And the man walks over to the piano, sits down on the bench, and starts playing. And everyone's like, whoa, what the hell? How'd you get that? And he says, there's a genie outside granting wishes. The man closes to the door, bursts out of there, goes up to the genie and says, are you granting wishes? He says, hell yeah, I am. He says, I want $1 million. Poof. There's 1 million ducks crossing the street. He comes back in, he says, man, that genie's deaf. I'm asked for $1 million, and he put out 1 million ducks. He says, yeah, do you really think I asked for a 12-inch pianist?
Oh my gosh!
Dirty Jokes My Mom part 68. Little boy was in sex education class, and the teacher explained that a woman has 2 breasts and a vagina, and that a man has 1 penis. He jumps up and says, nah, my dad has 2 penises. She says, that's impossible. He says, no, he has 1 little one that he pees with, and then he has 1 bigger one that he cleans the babysitter's teeth with. Alright guys, the little boy sees his grandfather drinking a beer. He says, hey, can I have some? He said, well, can your dick touch your ass? He said, no. He's like, well, you can't have any beer. Later on, he sees his grandpa smoking a cigar. He said, Grandpa, can I have a puff of your cigar? Can your dick touch your ass? Nope. Well, then you can't have a puff. Grandpa walks in the kitchen and sees his grandson eating some cookies. He says, hey, can I have a cookie? He said, can your dick touch your ass? He said, why, yes, it can. He said, well, good. Go fuck yourself. These are my cookies. When a Chinese man eats bad sushi. Oh, no. I was just in the gym, right? And I'm doing my thing, working out, and this dude comes up to me. He's like, bro, you're like training really hard. Like, are you training for something? Like, do you play a sport? Are you like competing? And I'm like, dude, I just want to look really good naked.